Hello, my friends, and welcome to another fucking episode of Aggressive Pogo here in the Fossil Cup featuring Shadow Skarmory and Shadow Poliwrath. I have two completely separate teams, both for Fossil Cup. One team featuring Poliwrath, and the last 5 battles featuring Shadow Skarmory. And now, I had seen a couple battles of Shadow Skarmory before I decided to level this one up to 1500 and give it 2 moves, and I didn't like the way it played. But Fossil Cup came by and I saw the meta and I saw what was happening, and Skarmory just makes sense in this Fossil Cup meta, and you're gonna see that when that comes up. But for now, enough about Skarmory. Shadow Poliwrath absolutely destroying the meta as well, alongside Lantern and Registeel. What a fucking team. Yes, this team is so fucking good. Lantern coming in. My opponent has a Ferrothorn, and there's really nowhere for me to go here. Taking the first Power Whip, probably going to let the second one go as well. I just need to get to a Dynamic Punch, and I didn't want my opponent farming me down, so I come in hoping my opponent doesn't get to a second one, and he doesn't get to it. We get to the Dynamic Punch. It should be enough to take him out, and it is. And that's a G fucking G. I hope everyone is doing well. I'm sorry I haven't been releasing content as faithfully as I used to. It's just been a lot going on in my personal life. I work a morning job from 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. and then I work an afternoon job from 3 p.m. to 8 p.m. So there is just no time for me to do anything except sleep because I have to wake up at 4 in the morning. So I apologize, my friends. I know it's been a while, but here I am. I made it. Finally have a new video coming up for you guys, and this is a really good one. I really hope you guys enjoy this one. Please smash that motherfucking like button for your boy. It really helps out. Been getting a decent amount of views, 300, 400, 500, and maybe once or twice we've gotten 1,000, which I'll take, but you guys have to help me out by hitting that like button. It helps me so much. You don't need to sub, you don't need to donate, you don't have to do any of that shit, alright? You do what you want. Oh my god, I remember this. I tried to take a picture and I completely fucked up, and I almost fucked this whole match up. But yes, please smash that motherfucking like button for me. It really helps, my friends. Thank you guys so much, and I hope you enjoy these battles. Lantern coming in, and I had the Thunderbolt saved up. No matter what the Pelipper would have thrown, it wouldn't have mattered. Getting to another Thunderbolt because I farmed up so fucking much energy, and just Thunderbolting back to back. Get this Golisopod off my fucking screen, and that's a G fucking G. Seems like I'm going to be recording these videos at my first job, which is what I'm doing now. I'm in the basement with my little microphone, trying to get this done for you guys, because it's just been way too fucking long and I'm slacking. What the fuck is wrong with me? Going for the Dynamic Punch up against the Alolan Sandslash, and he uses that shield knowing that it will absolutely fucking one-shot him. And I think I let this one go. I do. Shadow Poliwrath, man, let me just say, this thing is insane. Like, even when those Ferrothorns are coming out, which is why I really wanted to feature it, is because the Pelippers and the Ferrothorns and the Registeels, like, you're seeing them all so often, and Ice Punch does a decent amount of damage. The only problem is Jellicent. This fucking Mon right here is such an issue to deal with. I should be able to tank whatever my opponent throws and farm all the way down. He's getting to a Shadow Ball. I wonder if he'll get to another move, and he actually does, but it's just a Surf this time. Just perfectly fine. I'm not going to use my last shield. Getting to a Zap Cannon up against whatever came in. My opponent has the Pelipper, decides to shield. I don't get the debuff, sees my Lantern, calls it a quits, and that's a G fucking G. I believe that was the 3rd match into Ferrothorn, and you'd think I have to leave this match, but I don't, because I outpace, I think I outpace. Jellicent's coming in, and I'm throwing the Ice Punch by accident. I was trying to bait the Ferrothorn, but it doesn't matter. Lantern. This is exactly the reason why I put Lantern on this team, is because these Jellicents were annoying the fuck out of me. I was seeing them over and over, and I can't take it anymore. It's so annoying. My opponent up a shield, bringing in the Ferrothorn, And now my Lantern has nowhere to go, but we got rid of that fucking Jellicent, and that's really all that matters, to be honest. Lantern getting mirror shotted. My opponent trying to bait me. I don't know what the fuck he was thinking. Able to get to another move and force a shield. And now Registeel's coming in. My opponent has a Politoed in the back. And Registeel doesn't give a flying fuck. Dropping the attack. Gonna let this go through. It's probably just a weather ball. And now he should be at the back-to-back. But with the attack debuff, it doesn't mean a damn thing. So we're gonna let it through. Registeel able to farm all the way down. Ferrothorn's getting to a move, and it definitely won't be enough. Power Whip ain't shit. Getting to the fucking Focus Blast. And my opponent uses his last shield, and now Poliwrath should be able to close this out extremely easily. I'm telling you, man, Poliwrath is a problem. He's a fucking problem. Getting to the Dynamic Punch, and yeah, that's a G fucking G. RIP to this Ferrothorn, and that's a GG. Into the next match. You guys are gonna love the Skarmory battles. I saved them for last because you're just gonna see what the fuck is happening with this Mon. Like, it's so underrated, especially for this cup. Super underrated. I don't think anyone has made a video on it or emphasized this enough, but Skarmory is an absolute unit in this Fossil Cup. So good. Of course, not against Registeel, not against Bastiodon. Everything else, you're perfectly fine. Even if it's a Swampert, I believe you can tank a Hydro Cannon and still get to a Sky Attack, which will absolutely one-shot. You don't even have to go to the Brave Bird. Like, the Sky Attack is more than enough. It hits really fucking hard as a Shadow. Oh my god, Dynamic Punch, one-shotting the Swampert. My opponent either thinking I'm gonna bait or thinking he'll survive it, but that is a big fucking no-no. Going for the Surf up against the Registeel, and I'm just gonna go straight Surf. I'm not gonna go to Thunderbolt. I see no reason to do that. Focus Blast coming through, and now I'm bringing in my own Registeel, but he did overfarm, so he is ahead on energy. And now I know Lantern can close this match out, and Registeel's pretty fucking useless at this point. Going for the Zap Cannon, hoping to get a debuff. Don't get it, but I'm gonna get to another move. So I decided to just shield this and him with the last move and just call that a G fucking G. Going for the Zap Cannon just to be a fucking asshole. And it is enough, and that's a GG. Yeah, I was just being a dick right there. There was no reason for me to do that. All right, this is the Skarmory team. Bastiodon, Shadow Swampert, Shadow Skarmory. This is another team that I will continue to use. This team is fucking insane. Every time Fossil Cup comes around, best believe I will be using this fucking team. Bastiodon, Shadow Skarmory, Shadow Swampert is insane. Going for the Earthquake, we should get a shield here. My opponent shields, and now I think I just let this go. I do. Gonna wait the switch clock and bring in Skarmory, and look how much these air slashes are doing, ladies and gentlemen. The air slashes are doing such a good amount of damage. It's pretty insane. Shielding a Shadow Ball, which is beautiful. You love to see it. I think my opponent uses his second shield, and he does. And now we can overfarm by like one and throw our Sky Attack, which is exactly what we do. My opponent has no shield, so this will take him out. And now you'll see that, look, the Lucario's coming in. I'm getting to the Sky Attack. The power-up punch is not going to be enough to do a goddamn thing. And the Sky Attack will one-shot this Lucario. Boom! Get the fuck off my screen. Ferrothorn coming back in. Bastiodon has the Flamethrower ready to go. And I'm almost one-shotting the Ferrothorn. And I should be able to farm down. This move will not KO. And that is a G fucking G. I'm telling you, this team is so good. It's so well-rounded. Bastiodon in the lead, up against the Pelipper. You love to fucking see it. And a Mudboy's coming in, Quagsire. I'm bringing in Skarmory because I can tank anything. Taking the Stone Edge, no problem. My opponent does not want to take this Sky Attack, so I'm pretty sure he shields, and he does. And now we can basically just... I thought this would be a Mud Bomb, but he actually goes for the Stone Edge, which really fucking surprised me and threw me off a little bit. But we're up a shield, so we're going to bring in Swampert, and we can shield this Mud Bomb and farm up just a little bit. And we throw the Hydro Cannon, and Pelipper's coming back in to catch the move. But Yeah, Bastiodon doesn't give a flying fuck. Yeah. Pelipper getting to another Weather Ball, unfortunately, but it just doesn't matter. Like, Bastiodon is so tanky, he just doesn't give a fuck. And now I would imagine the Quagsire comes back in, but my opponent brings in an Escavalier, which didn't make any fucking sense to me. I have the Swampert in the back, and I need to overfarm to the back-to-back Hydro Cannon, because I believe, yes, exactly, Quagsire has a move coming in, and now I will get to the back-to-back, which is fucking perfect, taking out this Quagsire, and now getting to an Earthquake instead, because I was counting Escavalier's counters, and that is a G fucking G. Swampert going off at the end there. Bastiodon into another Pelipper. Target fucking acquired. Let's go. My opponent brings in a Galarian Stunfisk. First one I've seen. First one I had seen all day, and the last one I had seen all day, actually. Going for the Hydro Cannon, my opponent actually shields, and I'm going to respect the Earthquake, but of course, it's just a fucking Rock Slide. Getting to a second Hydro Cannon. Does he shield? He does not, and it's enough to take him out. My opponent has a Ferrothorn in the back, and I'm farming up to the Earthquake, and it's just a Mirror Shot. Getting to the Hydro Cannon. Does my opponent respect it? He does not. He fucking lets it through and calls the bait. Are you fucking kidding me? Another Mirror Shot coming through, and I thought I'd survive it, but I didn't. And now I'm bringing in the Bastiodon and getting to the Flamethrower on a CMP tie. Power Up ain't gonna do a goddamn thing, and this Flamethrower is gonna do a fuck ton of damage. My opponent using his last shield that would have KO'd him, and we can just ride this out. Like, there's not a damn thing Ferrothorn can do, so we're just gonna sit here and we're gonna try to fucking rock throw this bitch. But it gets to a Weather Ball, it doesn't KO me, and here comes Skarmory, ladies and gentlemen, ready to clean the fuck up. Getting to the Sky Attack, and I'm throwing right away. I don't want to risk another Weather Ball. Taking out the Pelipper, no fucking problem. Ferrothorn's coming in. We're probably gonna get hit with a Thunder. It's just another Mirror Shot, and we're able to farm him down because those Air Slashes are doing so much fucking damage as a Shadow, and that's a G fucking G. Bastiodon into Jellicent, another neutral matchup that is perfect. I am willing to play this out. My other Mons do not want to see this motherfucker. I can't stand Jellicent. It's extremely difficult to deal with. It's very tanky. It has Surf. It has Shadow Ball. It's just a problem. It's a serious issue. Stone Edge, hitting the Jellicent for a decent amount of damage, and I can no shield this and Air Slash farm all the way down. Air Slashes are doing so much damage as a Shadow. I fucking love it. Going for a Sky Attack up against the Escavalier that comes in. Doesn't respect it. Yes, he does. Using a shield. And we should be able to get to another one before my opponent's able to farm us down. And he uses his last shield as well, which is fucking beautiful. It's exactly what we want. I will probably bring in the Bastiodon just to sacrifice, but I bring in the Swampert instead. And Swampert should be able to handle this, but my opponent gets to a second Drill Run. He actually gets to a Mega Horn, which is insane. Trying to undercharge the Hydro Cannon, hoping I can Mudshot a couple times, but it's a Lucario in the back, and Power Up Punch is not going to be enough to take me out, and the Hydro Cannon is more than enough, and that's a G fucking G to that opponent. As you guys can see, this team's amazing. Target fucking acquired once again. Pelipper just getting annihilated in the lead. My opponent bringing in a Registeel, and I have a Mudboy answer. The best Mudboy, the fucking GOAT of Pokemon Go. Shadow Swampers, insane. And now I can throw this Hydro Cannon, hope to get to the back-to-back, because my opponent's probably going to outpace me here because I came in late. And now I'm thinking I could probably farm down, but I don't want to risk it because Registeel Focus Blast, especially since I'm down both shields, is just unnecessary to take. Swapping in the Skarmory, hard swap, and Swampert's coming in, going for the Sky Attack. Does he let it through? He uses a shield, and I don't think a Hydro Cannon will be enough to take us out. Let's see, and it's not. We're in the yellow, but my opponent's able to get to another one. That's very unfortunate. Bring in my own Swampert, and I'm at a move, able to take the Swampert out, will be more than enough. Hydro Cannon, booming the fucking Swampert. My opponent getting to a Weather Ball up against me, and there's not much the Swampert could do, but we have Bastiodon to absolutely fucking annihilate this flying toilet. I hope you guys enjoyed this fucking episode, and I will see you in the next one. Please smash that like button. Love you so much. I'll see you soon.